Okay, Improvisation Center is back again with the Scion again. Yep, the old Scion. And as you can see here, you might figure we're going to do a ball joint. Yep, this ball joint right here is pretty well shot, has the wheel jiggling a little bit, so we want to address this before the wheel falls off. So yeah, this is a pretty simple job right here. Already got the tire off, so there's no need to really cover that. 21 millimeter bolt typically to get the lugs off, get the tire off, have your car on a jack stand, all the normal shit. As far as our ball joint is concerned, here she is right here. Depending on whether it's standard equipment or original shit or whatever, the big nut right there with the cotter pin in there is probably going to be a 19 millimeter. Your bottom nuts right there, we're going to gauge those real quick just for the sake of argument. If I'm not mistaken, they should be 17. Yep, small nuts and shit right there, 2 nuts and 1 bolt, 17 millimeter. And like I say, you got a cotter pin in there too that you have to pull out. So go ahead and pull all that stuff out, and we're going to go ahead and show how I had to go ahead and remove the ball joint without having to really tear anything else apart. So stand by. Alright, we got the 2 nuts, 1 bolt off on the control arm. We also have our shaft nut loosened up. I haven't popped it free from the knuckle yet, so still do that, but I want to get it separated from this control arm right here, so when I do separate it from the knuckle, it'll just pop right out. So in order for me to do that relatively easily, I just did the quickest thing I could do, which is use this jack handle to pry down the control arm so I can separate everything. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, got that separated. Now with that, I can go ahead and get my baby sledgehammer and tap on this to knock this shaft out. Everything's already wallowed out and weak anyway, so it's not like it's gonna take a lot of effort or require a ball joint or tie rod end fork to pop it loose. So let me get this knocked out. Take our nut off. Go. Old ball joint out. All right, we got our old ball joint out. It's like I say, this part here is wallowed enough that it's loose, and this little bit of looseness here translates into a wobbly wheel. Can't have that. Garbage. But courtesy of AutoZone, we have a brand new one right here ready to rock and roll. So go ahead and pull all this garbage out and reinstall this stuff and button everything up. So stand by. Alright, we got the ball joint shaft installed in the knuckle with the nut and our cotter pin. Now have to do the same thing with the jack handle to pry the control arm down in order to get the studs of the bottom end of the ball joint back in place and secured. So let's do that next. Okay, a quick note on this particular AutoZone brand ball joint. The two nuts under here are actually 18 millimeter, but our little bolt right here, it's actually 15 millimeters. So don't think if you get a new ball joint, put it on here, that everything's going to be the exact same. Most of the time it ain't. So just a mental note, be ready to swap sockets. Back to the install. Alright, we got our nuts and bolts secured. The big ass nut on the shaft secured with the cotter pin. Our ball joint is technically done. Everything is nice and solid once again. So with that, we can put our wheel back on and conclude this whole thing. Like I said before, pretty quick video. I'm not doing the other ball joint because that one actually tested out to still be solid. Sometimes it works that way. Most people ideally would want to change them both at the same time so they can start on an even slate. We're not doing that right now. So either way, simple shit. This is how you do a ball joint on a 2007 Scion. So if you need to do this, it doesn't require a lot of tools. But yep, I'm done. So got a couple other things to look at on here, but don't worry about that. This is all about a ball joint. So until the next time, you know what to do. Click that like and subscribe button. Hit the notifications. See more of our shenanigans here. And be ready for some more because there's always going to be a lot more. So we always appreciate your views and your positive comments and likes and all that good stuff. And I'm going to get out of here. Catch you later.